Hey, welcome everybody. Chief Instructor Jay Ackerman.
Head Instructor Tony Sprague.
Head Instructor Josh Ackerman.
And here we are at the end of a fantastic summer again. We want to, first of all, thank you. We are very grateful to all the corporations that did seminars this summer. It was a great summer. All the new students that have come in throughout the year and through the summer. And we're about to embark what we do at the end of the summer, which is have our tests. And we're about to have the largest test that we ever had. There's over 60 students that are going to test in this new test. And we always get asked the question, what could I be doing or what should I be doing before the test to get ready for the test? And of course the usual training that we do, but there are some things that a lot of you didn't know as we started talking about things in class, and so we want to go over some real important things that we do in the fitness classes. Now, next to me sitting here are two of the best instructors in the world, and I'm not even going to say arguably because I know that they are. And our fitness classes, I designed these classes over 20 years ago to meld together with the self-defense. So they're called our fitness classes, but our ALEET24 training is more than just fitness classes. They're classes designed to mimic the muscle memory of all the self-defense training that we do. So let's talk about especially the core board training and the movements that are unique to the self-defense. Who wants to?
The movements that we're working on the core board incorporate a lot of balance and a lot of chopping movements that we use with medicine balls. And these chopping movements are going to be in the format of being able to punch correctly, being able to get power when you get rotation, actually feel what it's like to get a rotation, because you have this board that's going to be moving underneath you when you make these turns. It helps to develop the balance and the strength to get proper punching. Chopping behind you when you guys are working these exercises will pertain to certain gun defenses that we work in class, and I know there's going to be examples of this as you guys are watching this video. All around core strength, I know for male and female, as people get older, core strength is going to be really important for them. These boards are fantastic for working that core strength and balance too.
So one of the most important things, besides being able to defend yourself in a disadvantaged position, and especially for a smaller person, is to create space, right? When they're grabbed or when they're attacked, and the board is fantastic for those movements. It's explosive training. I think that's the key to this. Yeah. What we're trying to get across to people is those movements mimicked over and over again create that core stability that allows that upper body to rotate while that lower body stays still, and create the same thing that the power in athletes for whatever sport they're playing. It's the same creative power that we use for our self-defense, as you described, whether it's punching, whether it's kicking, whether it's kneeing, whether it's elbowing, whether it's turning as somebody grabs us, because as we know, criminals don't attack you in a safe fashion. They attack you as criminals where you don't see them, and so those movements are mimicked to have you be able to turn quick and use that core training. How about you, Tony?
Yeah, not the biggest guy on the planet. I don't want to muscle or wrestle with anybody. If I have to, neutralize the threat, I want my combatives to be as explosive as they can.
But I think you're the epitome of size doesn't matter.
That's right.
Speed kills.
That's right.
And everybody knows that.
That's why the strength and conditioning in here is so important, and it translates to everything that we do. Like Jay said, opposed to just throwing exercises at the walls, there's a focus when I strength train. And it's to defend myself, obviously to get in the best shape I can and best shape of my life, the endurance that we build in here. But specifically, if I was to be attacked, I want to be as explosive as I can so I can get home safe to my family. So the conditioning, strength training are awesome.
And how about the other classes? Let's describe what goes on in the other classes and how they fit.
Yeah, well, heavy bag's a perfect example. People ask all the time, like, what can I work on, outside of doing the blue level classes? And my first answer is come and do the heavy bag workouts. All the punching, all the kicking combinations, all that even translates to learning all the combinations that we do in the Fight Basics program too. Obviously the bag workout is more of a fitness element to the training, but you get, like I said, your punching combinations, your kicking combinations, doing all the drills, all the movement around the bag that you get to work. That's also a way to develop your speed and your power on these strikes, whether it be with your hands or with your legs. And like I said, it is a calorie burner. I know people have been in class before and looking at all the stuff that's monitoring them. When someone walks out of the class burning 1,100 calories, that's a pretty big burn in that bag workout. So you can definitely push yourself, as hard as you want in that class, or if there's a day where you're like, I want to get a workout, but I know that I'm, trying to take it easy for whatever reason. That's also something where you can be on the bag. You can work at your own pace. So if you guys haven't tried the bag classes, especially as beginners, it's fantastic for you guys. You'll get to learn all the punching, kicking combinations that would work in the self-defense class for sure.
But let's talk about something that's a couple things that are really important. First of all, our crawl, walk, and run methodology, right? That you can be in any shape and come in here and start training. The classes are geared to accommodate, because of the expertise of the instructor, from the most deconditioned, out of shape, newest person to the most advanced person. The drills are given in every kind of different modification, so that whether you are an expert or whether you're a beginner, you can start anywhere. It's real important to make note that our instructors go through thousands of hours of training before they become real instructors. They're not put on the mat after a weekend warrior seminar someplace. They've got just decades of experience, especially in the head instructor of our schools. So what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Instead of going to a gym where you're not led, maybe you don't know what to do. It gets boring, mundane. There's definitely a focus in here, and the instructors steer you along throughout the way, so you know exactly what the exercises look like, the modifications. It's all cued, so you know what's coming next. So it's a fast-moving class. That hour goes by very quickly. So some people spend all day in a gym trying to get done what we can do in a very short amount of time with that focus that we have, and then the the education and knowledge that comes from Jay and gets transferred down to us.
Yeah, so I think that's really important to understand when you go into a gym, because there's lots of places that have bag workouts in boxing, but to have the right form and the right instructor and the right corrections from really very, very experienced experts in fight and in self-defense is really important. So that's a key to this. Let's talk about some of the other classes.
The elite strength and conditioning classes that we do here. Different formats. We have kettlebell training that we do for all explosive work. Anything that has to do with the kettlebells and lower body, working on explosiveness for your knees, for your kicks, for your strikes, and it's all done in that format. Especially the elite burn classes. That is, if you guys haven't done that class, that 40-minute class, it is a go non-stop conditioning class with that too. And it's really is focused on the endurance side of things. It's not how much heavy of a weight can you lift and do it once or twice. It's going through intervals, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, really pushing that. And that's all done because of that fighter's mentality and their workout. You want to have the endurance to get through any type of physical situation, no matter the length of time, and those strength training classes exactly mirror that when we're working through those formats.
And the really cool thing about them is they're not just strength training classes. They're mixed with focusment work. Sometimes they're mixed with different things. They're mixed with groundwork. They're mixed going back and forth on those intervals, on those 2-3 minute intervals, to mimic the street fighting mentality. So they are never boring. They're always reworked, rethought. Whatever new things that we can come up with, or new things that are available for training, we're always onto that. What's your comments about it?
Oh yeah, ALEET's great. The explosive movement, especially when we start talking about ground fighting and different things, and being able to be explosive when you need to be able to get up from the ground if you have to. All of these elements that are have to do with fighting, opposed to just throwing exercises at the walls. This is stuff that's going to help you if you had to throw a kick or an elbow, God forbid, to protect your family or yourself. It's going to be there. So, and then we do this 6 days a week, so you have the opportunity to come in here and get that strength and conditioning in. With the amount of classes that are on the board, should be something that fits your schedule for sure.
But we all know how important endurance is to self-defense, and especially anybody who's ever been into a life-threatening situation where they've had to fight off the ground, where most fights end up, most problems occur, is that 2-3 minutes on the ground will feel like it's an hour on the ground. So when we're doing a class that mixes that up, where you get standing and going to the ground and then doing strength stuff and endurance stuff, it is a killer workout. But it's not just for fitness. It mimics what we do as self-defense, so you're ready to defend yourself in any situation. So that's what ALEET was designed for, That's what it's trademarked and copywritten for. And that's a big part, especially if you are new and you have not gotten around to doing the classes. It always surprises me when somebody says, like, how are you guys so explosive, or how do you do what you do? And I say, well, from all the years, for me, 40 plus, I don't even want to say how many years of doing this stuff, and then they don't put together the idea that our elite training is to mimic what we do in this to the self-defense.
Yeah.
So if this is eye-opening to you, get in here and get into these classes, and we promise you your learning will absolutely go through the roof very much quicker than without. So once again, we want to thank all the new students, all the corporate sponsors that came in here and did training over the summer. We're so grateful for all of you, and we really look forward to the back end of a great 2019 and looking forward to 2020. Again, I can't say enough about these guys and our whole staff, Michael, including your staff and you down in Chandler. And again, take the time to share these videos. It makes a big difference to all of us when you recommend people. We are a word of mouth type of place, which tells you after 20-some years, how great the training is.
Yeah, I can't say enough, again, how much we appreciate all of you guys as students. I know I said it on Facebook the other day when I posted, and we certainly mean it. You guys make it an environment that when new people come in to train with us, that they feel welcomed even from their first class. You guys are always willing to work with them and show them the way, along with all the instruction that's going on with things. And I know that means a lot to everybody, that they don't feel alienated when they come in here, that they feel like they belong to something very special. So just
a family,
Yeah, it's a
and that's
family.
it. Everybody knows it's cliche in a lot of places, but here it's not. They know it's a family place, which is geared for teaching and learning, and there's not hierarchies, and don't want to go into that whole thing.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, and to take your safety in your own hands, get your children in here before they're off to school or college or whatever the case is. We get them trained up as well. It's just so important with the world that we live in nowadays, for sure. Outside of that, 3 Valley locations, come and see us here in Phoenix. Go over to Glendale, see Micah over in Chandler. Visit our website at reactdefense.com, free trial class, and we would love to have you. Thank you so much.